Hello, Dr. Thompson. This is my full design in Multisim for my musical light show. Started off, you can see I'm blinking here. So these are my two inputs here, my left and my right audio signal. When I measured them, they maxed out at 0.6 volts each. So when I was doing everything, I assumed like the max was going through it. Um, so that one, the op amps here are limited to 5 volts peak to peak, or no, 10 volts peak to peak, I guess. Positive 5 and negative 5 voltage supplies here. So I don't want to breach that 5-volt peak in either direction there. So with my summing amplifier here, the gain is around 4.5-ish, 4.54, and even when these are both max inputs here, it won't go over 5 volts. I think it max around like 4.5 volts or something like that. 4.7 maybe. So this is my summing amplifier, combines two signals and provides a gain, so the highest voltage going through the rest of my circuit. And then this is my volume controller. I have a potentiometer as the feedback, and then depending on how the potentiometer is tuned, it depends how much volume or voltage is going through. So at 100% it's max volume, 50% will be half, and 0% there will be no gain here at all. Like, see, I turn it off. The lights just turn off there. I split the circuit at this point into my high pass on the top and low pass on the bottom. I chose a 250 hertz cutoff frequency for both filters, and they are the same RC's filter. I flipped the components, so the high frequencies will go up here, the low frequencies will go down here. Here is my peak detector here. They're not the same peak detector, but they're very similar in the design process. So what I did was I knew we are gonna have a load, so I knew needed to have the capacitor discharge somehow. So I just incorporated the load that would discharge it into the load where it's going. So it goes right into the base terminal, my BJT. Um, then up here is the collector current, 5 volts into the red LED, and the 100 ohm resistor here limits the LED current to 30 milliamps. And same down here with the low pass peak detector. I calculated this resistor and this resistor value based on how much voltage was here, and so I can limit the current to around 3 milliamps at a max, because my BJTs will be operating in saturation mode. The gain is about 10 in saturation mode, and if I want 30 milliamps going from the collector, I want 3 milliamps going into the base. So I calculated these resistor values, and then using those and the time constant I picked, which is like half a millisecond, I think, or 0.1 milliseconds, I'm not sure at the top of my head. I calculated the capacitor from that. So yeah, I mean, it's the same as the red one here. There you go. 5 volts in the green LED into a 100 ohm resistor to limit the current to 30 milliamps. My BJT, and yeah, that's my whole design.